In 2011, the board of United Way of Central Indiana adopted a 10-year, $12 million plan that really had two very specific goals. One was for 80% of all unlicensed ministries and licensed child care providers to achieve level 3 or 4 of PASDA quality, and the other being that 80% of all low-income children would be going to kindergarten and kindergarten ready.
And I saw a link for United Way, and they talked about grants. And I really didn't think about the grants so much, but the blurb on it was grants, maybe textbooks, and that's what really caught my eye. I thought, okay, the daycare could always use books and whatnot. When I clicked on that link, it took me to an email address, and I sent it to Mike Bachman and told him that we were interested.
I had gone out in a recruitment visit and met Shiloh and the director Marie Wilhite and found them to be very interested in growing the quality of the child care, but not knowing exactly how to do that. So we discussed different ways for them to do that, and throughout the process, we decided that we could get them a grant. Now, for the grant, there are some funding recommendations, such as there being a strong link to a legitimate religious organization. We want to make sure that they're serving a low-income population of at least 30%. In order to achieve level 1 of PASDA quality, which is basic health and safety, many child cares have to have their facilities upgraded. And because child care ministries and churches are nonprofits and are unable to make those upgrades or afford those upgrades, United Way provides a grant of up to 80% to allow those child cares to upgrade their facilities to meet those standards. For them to achieve level 1 of PASDA quality, there's 130 requirements, and only 25% of those are the physical building.
The most challenging part of what we do is that there are so many different codes and opinions on improving these facilities. There is a lot of light here, but in that general area we have to increase the lighting, mostly because of hygiene. You want to be able to see things better so that you can keep it cleaner. We have to have a direct exit to the outside, so generally we find a window, and because they'll have a steel lintel there or a lintel, we can increase the opening or just cut straight down. In this case, that window's not wide enough to get a door in, so we have to make it wider. And we'll be taking up the carpet so we can put in a hard surface, vinyl composition tile, VCT tile. Yeah, it's easier to keep clean.
People need to know they can come somewhere and have their children be safe.
There's a lot of reasons why early childhood needs to be high quality and why there needs to be a large supply of high quality early childhood education. First of all, when you're just looking at the development of the child, we know that 85% of the brain is developed in the first 3 years of life, and that it's extremely important that those children are having positive interactions with adults and that they are constantly in environments that enrich their lives and creates those connections within their brain so that their capacity to learn is as full as possible. Currently, Indiana has not completed a longitudinal study to show the return of investment. However, we know in Chicago, they're showing a return of investment of $11 on every dollar spent in early childhood. And in many places, kind of the spectrum that we see is anywhere from $4 to every dollar to as high as $17 in return on every dollar spent. And what that's doing, I think, is stimulating more conversation for why the private sector should be investing in early childhood education.
Kids deserve the best, whether it's books, whether it's science centers, math centers, whether it's caregivers, whether it's safety, whether it's nurture, whether it's nutritious meals. They deserve the very best.
The three biggest changes that I think I see as child cares are progressing through the levels of PASDA quality is first, you see children attendance go up, okay? And that's really because they're not sick as often, because you have those new procedures, those new policies, and also those basic health and safety requirements met. So a lot of attendance goes up, children are not staying home, children are not sick as often. The next thing that you see is a growth in the interactions between the teacher and the child. You see a lot more caring, loving, and educational relationships developing there between them. Also, you see children who are engaged in interacting with their environments, which I think is the most important part.
Women United is helping the Shiloh ministry with some of the projects that are going to help them get to the next level. So we are putting in some sweat equity, and we are painting and we're cleaning, ultimately helping them achieve their goal. It's been a great time. in addition to the women from Women United, we've got some of the staff here at the daycare as well as some other volunteers from the church. And it's been a fun morning, just making a difference and getting to know people and just having a good time.
We got new sinks for the infant room, all right? We got a panic door in the infant room. We got an adjoining door from the toddler room to the infant room. We got sinks in the toddler room. We got all brand new lighting. Oh my gosh, I can really see your face now. And we got a brand new fire alarm, so strobe lights in the gym and in all the rooms. And then we prepped, we primed, and now we're painting the room, so it's amazing.
That means that those kids are going to be in a safer environment, and I think that should make us all feel good that the kids of this community are in a safer place.
And I don't believe at this time, and even in 2014, if we didn't have the United Way to help us, that we would have been able to do this project.